Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, Sydney Sweeney might be back on the market.
Also, Gen Z is dragging the millennial burger joint, and it's the best thing we've ever seen.
All that and more on the way next. And it's going to be a good weekend, Allie.
Yes.
Because we've got the Oscars coming up. And this is so ridiculous that we did this, but we both dressed up for the Oscars for a radio show. No one can see us.
Yeah.
It's early in the morning. The sun barely peeking over the horizon.
It's not peeking.
And we're wearing sparkly clothes.
Yeah, I raided Sparkle's closet last night.
Yeah.
So I've got a sparkly top on that's like got glitter on it and sparkly jeans. But I have to say you are outshining me currently.
I went all out.
You definitely did. I can literally, it's like you're a disco ball with all the lights we have here in the studio.
Yeah, no, they really do shine.
I mean, it's like projecting shine on different things we have here in the studio.
Yeah, but I don't regret this at all.
No.
I think that we made a good choice. And you know what I'm looking forward to is obviously it's a great promotion for our RadioU Mornings YouTube channel. You need to go check that out and see these videos that will be posted later on today.
Yes.
Of us in our Oscars outfits. But what I am concerned about is down the line, like after the Oscars, even in the videos, there's going to be no context for why we're dressed, particularly me. Like you're dressed pretty normal.
Yeah.
Like you're dressed nice, but normal. I never wear this. These videos, there's going to be TikToks made of our topics today. We're talking about Shrek or something. And there's going to be no explanation for why I'm dressed like this at all. And so it may be good for views because people will just be confused.
Yeah.
Also, it'll come up, I'm sure some of these will be on RadioU TV.
Maybe.
Like months from now. There'll be clips from today's show on RadioU TV. I'll be dressed like this. Nobody will have any clue why.
Yeah.
And it will just be confusing.
Yeah, I think I have to make that happen now. Like I have to tell Nene we have to make content with us in these clothes so that they can last forever.
Yeah, but I'm glad that somebody gave me this silly jacket years ago. It seemed like a ridiculous gift at the time, but every year the Oscars come around or I need to dress up as Elvis, it's really come in handy.
Yeah, for context, it is a gold jacket with black lapel and pocket. Almost like a pocket square.
These aren't they're not sequins, but like,
yeah,
they have the same effect.
Yeah, they're like sequins, but they're gold and they glimmer like a disco ball, especially with all the lights. And it's like, it looks like something you would get at like Party City, like a costume or something.
I'm sure that's what it is. That's probably where it came from. Those like usually pillows or like stuffed animals.
Yes.
Where you can
flip them up and down.
Yeah, you can make it two different colors with the little, whatever those little things are. That's basically what I'm wearing, except it's only one color.
Yeah,
it only goes one way.
Yep, your jacket's made out of that.
So check out the RadioU Mornings YouTube channel today. Subscribe, and these will be the flashiest videos you will ever see from us for sure. adding some color and light and excitement to this sometimes drab studio. Massive news in the world of space, Allie.
Ooh.
Even though it's not officially us in space. It is a new Blue Origin mission coming up. You know, that's Jeff Bezos,
yes.
Jeffrey Bezos' space company. He is sending an all-women crew to space. And the all-women crew will feature not only his fiancée, Lauren Sanchez. It says here she's known as a news anchor and correspondent. Is she? I feel like she's known as his fiancée.
Yeah, I didn't know that she did that at all.
It will also include another high-profile name, none other than Katy Perry.
Okay.
A.k.a. formerly Katie Hudson, if anybody didn't know that. And CBS host Gayle King, kind of a notable name. There's other people you probably definitely have not heard of someone named Amanda Wynn, film producer Carrie Ann Flynn, and former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe will be leading together a all-women space mission with Blue Origin. Allie, if I were you, I'd feel left out.
I mean, yeah, I love space. Why was I not invited to this, Jeff Bezos?
We have a whole space segment. What do we have to do to get you included in this?
What the heck, Jeff? This is not very nice.
Meanwhile, Katy Perry.
Yeah.
What has she done to get included?
All she's done is sung. I mean, I guess she did sing like
Firework.
She's
gonna be a firework.
Didn't she also have a song that was like extraterrestrial or something?
She did, yeah. That she ripped off from Lecrae. Pretty sure.
So yeah, that was from a few years. That's a deep cut from a few years back.
Yeah. I mean, is it a deep cut if she did it at the Super Bowl? Because I'm pretty sure she did.
I guess not, but it has been a few years since I've heard that song.
Oh.
I mean, a few years.
By the way, correction. I don't want to besmirch Katy Perry. Dark Horse is the song she ripped off from Lecrae, not Extraterrestrial.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
She probably ripped that off from somebody else.
I definitely did not remember Extraterrestrial having any tie to any of those controversies, but I do remember Dark Horse.
Definitely Dark Horse.
Was the one with like a lot of people saying, it sounds like this song or this song.
But you know what? Roar is so good, she couldn't have ripped that off from anybody. That has to be original.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it has to be.
I'm okay. I don't know.
You're going to hear me roar. It's empowering.
Is she going to sing that up in space?
I don't know if it fits as much, but I mean, yeah, that would be great.
You know, sound can't travel in space, right? So we won't be able to hear her roar.
Yeah, does that count when you're inside, though? When you're inside a rocket?
No, in the rocket, you can obviously hear it. In the spaceship, you'll be able to hear sound, but I just mean...
Yeah, or like if it really doesn't travel, like we wouldn't be able to know that. Which one of the guys said is one small step for man? John Glenn, Neil Armstrong.
I'm pretty sure it was
Buzz Aldrin.
I'm pretty sure it was Neil Armstrong.
This is all over the place. I'm excited. When is this launch? We need to know.
I don't know. I don't see a date here listed.
It doesn't have a date, does it? But
nope.
someday
this space flight will happen.
Oh, okay. It says this spring.
Oh, wow. Okay, so soon.
Yes, it will be the 11th human flight by Blue Origin.
Okay.
And it will include all women, including Katy
Are they
Perry.
just going into orbit?
I would imagine it's similar to like the ones they did prior where they go just, the line where they technically go into space, but it's not like space.
Yeah, they're not getting too far out there.
Yeah, they're going to be up there for like 90 seconds or something and then fall back down.
That just feels like such a waste of money.
Well, you've got to walk before you can run.
Yeah, and I guess Jeff Bezos does have money to burn, so he's going to be fine.
It's not a waste of money to him.
Nope.
He's helping his fiancée and Katy Perry and women by giving them this honor.
Yes, this is what women need.
Shrek 5, the teaser was released yesterday, which shows you nothing about the actual story of the movie whatsoever. It does show you that all the people you love from Shrek are back, including Pinocchio, and Zendaya is going to be involved as well. Apparently, she's Shrek's daughter. So think about that. If you grew up watching Shrek, he's old enough to have a daughter now that's your age.
Right. The original one came out in 2001. So
that is crazy.
That's crazy to think about.
So what did you think of the teaser?
I mean, it looks good. I gotta be honest. I've never been the biggest of Shrek fans. I enjoy the Shrek films, but I think I stopped watching after the second one.
Yeah. I don't know how many I've seen, but I feel like it's not all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely not all. Definitely did not realize that they were on number 5. So I guess I got to do some catching up before this one comes out.
I'm sure this one you'll be lost when Shrek 5 comes out if you haven't seen all 4. Probably all the Puss in Boots movies. And maybe if there's a show, I'm sure there's like shows that are on Netflix or
we
something.
have to watch too.
Yeah. It's just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
You need to watch all of it.
This is why it's releasing in Christmas of 2026. You need all that extra time.
To give you time to do the homework.
Yep.
Yeah, that it is crazy too that it's almost 2 entire years from now is when this movie comes out, and they're giving us a teaser already.
Yeah, it's impressive to have the animation looking, done at that point. Yeah, when you're still that far away from releasing a movie.
If you have kids now that you just introduced to Shrek, they'll be grown by the time Shrek comes out. I will say, and a lot of people were kind of pointing this out, that doesn't like Shrek always looks like a little creepy. There's something off about it, but there's something about all of the characters that looks even worse. And they look better animated, but also more horrifying.
Yeah. It's a little too much detail, if that makes sense. You know, Shrek was always kind of like an ogre for sure, but a little bit smooth.
Yeah.
You know?
He looked playful. Like almost not cuddly, but like squishy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now it's like a little too much effort has been put into this, you know? Like you need to go back to the smooth face.
Yeah, almost like sickly in a way or something. Like
I
there's
think
just
they're trying
diseased.
Diseased?
I think he looks
I
diseased.
don't know if I would go that far, but I think they are trying to portray that he's older now. And like he's got maybe some wrinkles or something.
When you can see inside their mouths, that's when it really bothers me.
Oh, really?
The teeth, the Shrek teeth.
Yeah, the teeth are looking whack.
Yeah.
In the trailer.
Which, understandable. Like you would think an ogre in real life would have gnarly teeth, but also I don't like looking at it.
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, bring back my old Shrek. This is not my Shrek, whatever. And so, it'll be interesting to see. They've got time to obviously adjust how they animate them.
Hey, that worked for Sonic.
Yeah.
So hopefully, maybe for Shrek 2, maybe they hear the cries and they've got 2 years to soften things up a little bit.
Yeah, they might have been like, we're going to release this to see the reaction so we don't release a movie that everyone hates.
Yeah. On the menu today is Krispy Kreme's new Movie Snacks Donuts line. It is a collaboration with Hulu, I believe, to promote, even though they don't technically say this anywhere, the Oscars, which can be found on Hulu, along with many other movies. And so these are Krispy Kreme donuts that are supposed to capture what it's like to go to a movie snack bar.
Yeah, I'm excited to try all of these different ones. We've got a donut that's got popcorn on it. We've got a donut that resembles like an icy, one that has like kind of M&M candies, like off-brand M&Ms.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like a cookie dough one. So I'm excited to try all of these.
Are you really excited to try all of them? Because some of them do not sound good.
I think the icy one, for whatever reason, is the one that's like throwing me off a little bit. But
well, it's a color that doesn't exist in nature, first of all.
Yeah.
So that's a little concerning that we're putting whatever chemical makes that exist in our bodies.
Right.
But we're gonna do it. We're gonna power through. Which one do you want to try first then?
Let's get the icy one out of the way.
All right. The icy one is called the Blue Raspberry Slush Donut. It's an original glazed donut dipped in blue raspberry flavored icing and blue sanding sugar.
All right.
Not only are we eating something strangely blue, it's also got sand in it. At least sand-like features. And it'll probably turn our tongues blue.
And teeth.
You said it, not me. For as crazy as it looks, though,
It tastes just like a regular glazed donut.
yeah, it's really just a pretty sweet donut. I don't even get a lot of the blue raspberry. Do you get any?
I just got a little bit more of it as the blue part of it like actually made its way to my like taste buds. I just got a little bit as I swallowed at the end, but other than that, for the most part, it just tastes like a glazed donut.
Yeah. If it wasn't colored the way it is, it wouldn't be
Anything special.
It doesn't necessarily scream to me icy at the movies.
No, it doesn't taste like an icy at all.
Okay, what should we do next?
Let's go for the M&M one next.
Okay, that's called the Candy Double Feature Donut. It's an original glazed donut dipped in white icing, topped with milk chocolate candy pieces, aka M&Ms, and mini chocolate chips. Do you see mini chocolate chips? Because I don't.
I have one mini chocolate chip and one M&M candy.
I have 5 fake M&Ms. It's also supposed to be drizzled with chocolate flavored icing. I don't see that either. I feel lied to. I feel like Krispy Kreme, whoever delivered these Krispy Kremes to Kroger, messed up. They took a bad batch.
I actually really like the chocolate.
I mean, it is good.
It's pretty good.
I never get M&Ms. Why would you ever choose all in the world of candies? Why would you choose M&Ms? It's so boring. So many better options.
What?
But on a donut, pretty good.
I think on a donut, pretty good as well.
That was tasty. All right, you want to do cookie dough or caramel popcorn? I feel like we have to leave the caramel for last, right?
That's
the
what I think too. Like popcorn is the epitome of film.
Yeah.
Like or a movie snack. So yeah. Cookie
All right.
dough next.
The cookie dough donut is the cookie dough superstar donut. It's unglazed, filled with chocolate buttercream flavored ice cream, or filling, I should say, dipped in chocolate icing and topped with gold glitter sprinkles and cookie dough bites. They were very sparse, very light on the cookie dough bites on this, which is really the part that I'm looking forward to the most.
Uh-huh.
But it is loaded with buttercream.
Yeah. You know what? Out of all of them, this is one I like the least.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little too much for me.
I just always like the cream filling inside. And so that one just makes that more fun to me.
The cream filling isn't bad. I just think it's everything in combination is like a little, for me, too much.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is the lie of cookie dough bites, because they don't actually taste like eating cookie dough, which is much better.
Cookie dough is one of my favorite snacks, even though I rarely get it because it's so many calories. But yeah, that doesn't really reflect it very well.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to make a batch of cookies and never gotten to the putting them in the oven part.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think you're supposed to eat that type of cookie dough, though, right?
That's the good kind.
But you're not supposed to eat it.
And I'm still standing.
Somehow.
Yeah. Lastly, then we have the caramel popcorn donut, which is an unglazed donut filled with caramel popcorn flavored cream. They made caramel popcorn cream to put inside and then dipped it in white icing and added caramel popcorn to the top and red icing drizzle. If you see it in full, it looks like because the popcorn is scrunched over to one side, so it gives the illusion, the appearance of like a classic popcorn container with popcorn bubbling out of the top.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think also if you smell it, it smells like butter, like popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me nervous.
Oh, you go first.
Butter on in a donut.
You're the nervous one, so you take a bite. Don't tell me what to think yet.
My cut of this popcorn donut did not have a lot of filling in it. The popcorn on top is a no. That's a no from me.
The popcorn on top is a little soggy.
Yeah. But it still has like the popcorn center, which is a really weird thing to have on a donut, like the little crispy little husks or whatever inside.
I mean, I don't hate it, but it's probably not something I would choose to eat. And I don't usually eat donuts that often anyways. But yeah, that popcorn, you know me. I'm the queen of popcorn.
You are. Well, you're the McChicken queen.
And the queen of popcorn.
Yeah, right.
I eat popcorn a lot. And I love popcorn at movies. That's my number one snack there. So, this popcorn is a little bit of a wah-wah.
Yeah, that's that. If you went to the movies and that was the popcorn you got, you would never go to that theater again.
I would never go to that theater again. I would be like, I need to rethink my entire existence. You know, it would put me into an existential crisis.
You probably would, just sit at home for the rest of your life, at least for watching movies. So I actually don't think any of these taste particularly awful.
Yeah,
I also don't know that I think any of them taste particularly amazing either.
Yeah.
Whenever, weirdly
enough, the one I like the most is the icy one, and it's probably because it's like the most normal of them.
Yeah, surprisingly. It doesn't look the most normal, but it kind of does taste. I mean, I think the M&M one is really...
That one's good too, yeah.
I would eat any of these except for maybe the popcorn one, just because that was weird.
Okay.
But I wouldn't ever, whenever we do Krispy Kreme stuff, you have to realize that when they come up with these weird donuts, there's a reason they don't have them all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're not as good as the old tried and true classics like the cake donuts and the Boston creams and the maple glaze and whatever.
These can't stand the test of time like those puppies.
These are limited time and for good reason. And they don't even really capture the magic of movies, if you ask me, of going to the theater.
Yeah.
I'd much rather go see a movie at a theater than eat any of these donuts.
A swing and a miss. Sorry, Krispy Kreme.
We got some exciting news yesterday. Mummy Pig from Peppa Pig is pregnant. Can I first of all be honest with you? I didn't know they were still making Peppa Pig.
I have no idea.
I kind of thought that was done.
Peppa Pig was not my era of cartoons that I grew up with. It was far beyond my era.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed out on that hype. And now my little, nieces and nephew, they're not watching Peppa Pig. They watch Bluey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bluey is eating Peppa's lunch.
Oh, yeah.
for the last several years. I think that's probably why, this is strategic by Mummy Pig.
Oh, for sure.
Because she needs to get Peppa's and the show's name back out there.
Oh, yeah.
What better way than with a new baby? And so yesterday, this is crazy. Mummy Pig went on Kylie Kelsey's podcast. That's Jason Kelsey's wife.
Yep.
She has a podcast called Not Gonna Lie. Somehow she was interviewing a cartoon character. And that is where Mummy Pig decided to break the news to the world that she is pregnant with her third child. According to her, we do know who the father is. It is Daddy Pig. It is not Elon Musk in this case. And so Peppa and George are getting a little sibling. I don't know if we know no announcement on boy or girl yet. It's still too early to tell.
Yeah, still too early, or maybe they don't want to find out. Maybe they want to be surprised.
I think we want to be surprised.
Yes,
especially when you've already got one of each. You know, just let one more thing be exciting.
Exactly. I will say this was definitely out of nowhere, and like you said, Peppa Pig has not been on my radar at all. So when we decided to talk about this, I was like, oh, okay. At first, I was like, Mummy Pig, what's that? You know, I was like,
really?
A pig is pregnant? I was like, what's happening right now? And then finally it clicked in my head, Peppa Pig, you know? So it just...
I feel like Peppa was like Bluey before Bluey, though. Like,
but again,
there's always like a big kid thing.
Right. But it just fell in an era that I just was not in that era.
Yeah.
Like, even when my little cousins were young and were watching shows, they watched things like Bubble Guppies and Paw Patrol. I never remember them watching Peppa Pig. So it was never in my circle, you know?
Yeah. Well, now maybe it's about to be.
I doubt it, but I will say, how soon is it going to be until the mom from Bluey is now pregnant?
Yeah, they've got they've got an answer now.
Oh yeah.
But I thought is Bluey going away for a little while? Because they did that one episode. Everybody was sad. They were going to move. Do they or don't they? I don't want to spoil it, even though it's been out for a while. And so I feel like Bluey, the door is now open for Peppa Pig and Mummy Pig to kind of just burst back onto the scene, have a little renaissance,
right,
and take over from Bluey, take the torch back until Bluey's ready to make some new stuff again.
Yeah, I think what's happening with the Bluey show is they are pausing it for a little bit because they're working on a Bluey movie.
Oh yeah.
So the same animators or whatever are going to be a little too busy.
Peppa has got to really hop on this while there's a chance. Because once the Bluey movie comes out, it's over.
Yeah,
it's done. You're done. You're cooked.
You're cooked.
The Oscars coming up on Sunday night. Allie and I dressed for the occasion. We're dressed to impress today. I feel like I am the champion of the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody loves them more than me, probably in the entire state. And I will watch the entire show. But I know there's a lot of people that probably would need some convincing. Like maybe even you, Allie.
Yep.
You probably not, if it wasn't for me, would not even have it on your radar.
Yeah.
So for you and people like you, I have 3 reasons why you might be convinced to watch the Oscars.
Okay, let me hear it.
One, and actually this is the top reason to me, is Conan O'Brien is hosting. Conan is always funny.
Okay.
Very apolitical, so you don't have to worry about whatever your views are of him probably making fun of them or whatever.
From at least him.
Yeah, right. And the other jokes are usually the presenters typically have some kind of script.
I just mean from the celebrities.
Yeah, they typically stick to a script about some movies, and it's usually horrible. I mean, horrible, not funny.
Yeah,
it's cringe most of the time. But they also I don't think there'll be a lot of political stuff. Some of the movies, yeah.
The speeches, though, is what I'm getting to.
Maybe.
The speeches is what I'm nervous.
Conan will be funny. Okay. You can always count on that.
Sure.
So that's reason number 1. Number 2, the music.
Okay.
Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo will be there.
Oh.
They will be doing wicked songs.
Okay.
There will be other performances as well that will probably be good. Historically, all the songs that are nominated for Best Song get performed at the Oscars. They've gone away from that, and it seems that they're definitely not doing that this year. That's a good thing this time. Some of the songs, I won't say which, suck. And it looks like they've cut those ones.
Good.
And kept the ones from Wicked and whatever, which actually couldn't be nominated themselves because they weren't original.
I think I know which songs you're talking about, and I'm very glad that they're not being performed.
No, they're not doing those. But no, there's going to be, last year, I'm Just Ken showstopper. There's always at least one performance that yes, I'm glad I watched this. Sure, you can watch it on YouTube the next day, but don't you want to be a part of something?
I mean, I guess, but I'm also normally on Sunday nights, I'm playing pickleball, and I've got something else going on that Sunday night after pickleball. So I'm like, will I even be able to watch the Oscars? Probably not. Not that I don't like your reasonings.
Yeah.
I do. And here's the thing is I am a champion of film. I do love good movies. I love good directing. I love good acting. I want to celebrate those things. But I just have to be honest. Sometimes I felt like the Oscars has strayed away from that. And the celebration of the good filmmaking and the good acting and the good writing and all of that stuff, it can be a little bit that's the sideshow, and we're doing other things as our main show, when really it's the movies should be the main show.
It is true. In some years, in the interest of trying to shorten things, because one of the problems with the Oscars is it goes really long.
Yeah.
They don't have clips and stuff from the movies.
Right.
And it's show the best things from the Oscars to me are when they're not just showing you should show clips from the movies that are nominated this year and whatever, show why.
Yeah.
But also when they champion the history of movies as well.
Yeah.
The In Memoriam segment, of course, can be really meaningful and touching and whatever. So that's what I'm hoping for. I want it to be fun, and I want it to be about movies and not other stuff. And I'm hoping that between Conan and some of the bigger movies that are involved this year, A Complete Unknown and Wicked, these, and Doom Part 2, these are good movies.
Yeah.
Conclave, that hopefully it gets to be more fun and more of a celebration and less of a political convention.
Hey, if we get another Kristen Bell, snow. Do you want to build a snowman? Yeah. Do you want to be an actor parody? I will be all in for that. But I will be honest, I'll probably watch that on YouTube the next day.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? For the people that just want to watch the highlights on YouTube, I don't think I can convince you.
Yeah.
Convince you to sit there for 3 hours. This is wild. It's not a very happy Friday, I feel, for Jonathan Davino. Do you know who that is, Allie?
I didn't know it before this.
He is Sydney Sweeney's fiance. But for how long? They've been engaged. This is crazy. They've been engaged for 3 years. Sydney Sweeney, a.k.a. the biggest star actress possibly in all of Hollywood right now. The hottest name.
Yeah.
Jonathan Davino is her much older fiance.
Yeah.
They've been engaged for 3 years, and they, it was announced earlier this week, have postponed their wedding indefinitely.
Oh.
Quote, because of the couple's busy schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like it's trouble for Jonathan Davino.
I'm a little worried for him.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I know when Sydney Sweeney did the rom-com with Glenn Powell, Anyone But You.
Yeah.
A lot of people were speculating are Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney going to start dating?
Yeah.
Because none of us realized Sydney Sweeney was engaged.
She was already engaged then, yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, wait, what? And so I know a lot of people have been kind of confused by this relationship. There is a pretty decent age gap. It's about 14 years. I have seen...
I think he's 41 and she's 27.
Yes. So about, 14 years.
Yeah.
But I think... I've seen plenty of relationships work with age gaps. I'm not trying to, make it seem as if that's bad or whatever, but it does feel a little odd that this decision was made. Now, she is very busy. That's not a lie.
That's true.
She's in movies, tons of movies that are coming out soon and in production currently, filming and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I believe that part of it, and maybe it is just too overwhelming for her to try and plan a wedding at the same time.
They didn't call it off.
Yeah, she's not saying I'm not engaged anymore.
Yeah.
And actually, I think they're super cute together. And so, obviously we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I think they're super cute together. So I hope they stay together.
Yeah. No, I am hopeful because, how do you... If you're Jonathan Davino, too, how do you bounce back from this?
I don't know. I mean, he just seems like a regular guy. It kind of reminds me of Margot Robbie, who's married to a regular guy.
And Lana Del Rey, too.
Yeah,
the alligator tour guide.
Right.
I don't know. Is that a regular guy? Because that's pretty awesome.
I mean, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's cool when like these Hollywood starlets who are like so gorgeous and like larger than life and all of that, they have all this fame and probably could get any guy that they wanted, and they just end up with this regular no-name guy. I think that's so wholesome.
Yeah.
And so I hope they stay together.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. It seems like trouble, though. It definitely seems like trouble. But like from Sydney Sweeney's perspective, it makes sense. A lot has changed in her life in 3 years.
Yep.
When he asked her to marry him. What did I just say? When he asked her to marry him. Yeah, okay, that was right. 3 years ago. She was relatively even unknown probably at that point.
Yeah, she was only on like Euphoria or whatever.
Yeah, it was way different. So she didn't know how things would blow up.
She's like, my prospects have changed.
Yeah, that's right. She has access to many more potential suitors that she might have had when she said yes at the time. But
I hope that's not the case here. But it isn't a lie. It's not
exactly.
a lie.
Let's just be realistic. But that's why we're rooting for him, because love should be more important.
Exactly.
Than taking advantage of the situation.
Right. Yes. And like I said, they look very cute together. They seem happy. So I'm hoping for the best for this couple.
Yeah, but also let's be realistic. You've been engaged for 3 years and you're postponing things. What does Michael Scott say? Engaged ain't married.
Oh. One thing that I feel like I always struggle with, Hudson, is overthinking.
Okay.
I overthink literally everything.
Yeah.
And I think about stuff for way too long after something happens, like an interaction.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like it weighs on me. And there was something that earlier this week that has happened. And I've had to stop my brain to be like, why are you still thinking about this?
Like this is old, but the Seinfeld episode where George, the guy, insults him, and then he's thinking about the perfect insult long after he ever gets a chance to say it.
Exactly
the jerk
like
store
that.
called.
Yep.
They're running out of you.
Yeah, literally. That's exactly what it is. It's just like for whatever reason, I get overwhelmed with that type of sense of anxiety. Did I say something wrong in that situation? Should I have said something differently? Or did I sound dumb in that situation? I always think that.
Yeah.
And it's just like that anxiousness, that fear. It's so overwhelming to me. And I always have to stop myself because in the moment I'll realize, why am I letting this run my life? Why am I letting this get in the way? And I was actually just reading a scripture recently, and it really helped me get over this specific situation that literally just happened this week.
Okay.
And it's from the Psalms, which Psalms has so many great, kind of messages on anxiousness.
Yeah.
And it's Psalm 55, verse 22. It says, "Cast your burden upon the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be shaken." I love that word sustain so much because I think it's important for us to remember that the only thing that can sustain us, the only thing that can kind of help us get over our anxieties and our fear is Jesus Christ and a relationship with Jesus Christ. He will sustain you.
Right. Yeah. If you want to let go of the anxiety and thinking about, just the stuff that is gone and in the past, many of us have a hard time letting go of that.
Yeah.
But when you know that it's over and done with and that God has you going forward, it makes it so much easier to let that stuff go and to have a better mindset with it. If you want to experience that, God's there. He's ready to help. Whatever it is that's been a burden on your mind, let him know about it, and he will help you deal with it. RadioU.com/free gift, a great place to start. There's a trend going around on TikTok, and it is killing me.
Oh, no.
It is the millennial burger joint trend, where basically it's just people describing the burger restaurant that is in every town ever. It's sprung up in the last few years, and basically going, yes, we're a millennial burger joint. Yes, we overprice everything. Yes, our truffle fries are mediocre at best. Yes, we're two guys with a crazy idea. My favorite, the one that kills me the most. Yes, the pipes in the ceiling are exposed.
I'm literally thinking of a place right now.
Yeah. And actually, I feel like it ties back into my Five Guys thing yesterday, because Five Guys is the generic version, the generic of
The generic nationwide version.
All of these other ones that it's like, look, Five Guys did it, and so now we're gonna do it very similarly. Very uncomfortable, blasting classic rock music. There's these weird like signs on the wall that are kind of, that our wives probably put in or whatever. Wives, and it's just like, yes, even our cheese curds are $10. Yes, the burgers are $30. Oh, I hate this. Yes, we call pizzas flatbreads and burgers sandwiches.
Ooh,
come on.
Ooh, yeah.
Why does every town have this restaurant?
This is hitting too close to home.
Yeah,
this is too real.
Yeah,
usually I'm not in for these TikTok trends. I am fully in for this. I don't even have TikTok, but I am in for this. This is too accurate. It's too funny. It's great.
Do you have any other like just classic millennial burger joint tropes that you could add to this?
I feel like the lighting is always way too dark.
Yes, you're right. It is too dark.
I'm like, turn the lights up, please.
Yeah. And a lot of them, like they're not all, some of them, they give you the paper menu.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, what is going on with
Or paper straws.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. You can't have an actual glass, no matter where. No matter what, even if it is sit down, you get a plastic cup.
You know what? They also don't have any real soda. It's all custom made.
That's right.
It's all the custom soda.
It's in bottles. It's only in glass bottles.
Only in glass bottles, or they make it themselves. They're like, we make our own concoction of soda, and it's like tastes like soap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they have like a special root beer that has like a special name.
Yeah, a special. That's the one I'm talking about that tastes like soap. It's like this is awful.
Yes, who made this? The millennial burger joint. Every town has somehow they. I feel like every time one closes, though, another one three pop up.
Yeah.
Every group of two guys is like, we're the ones.
We're the ones.
We have the special burger.
We have the crazy idea.
Yeah, the crazy idea. It's a millennial burger joint that actually lasts. Get your popcorn ready. It's our Friday tradition, the weekend watch list on Radio U, letting you know which movies are new that you could be watching in theaters and at home this weekend. A quiet weekend for new movies, I have to admit. It's Oscars weekend, which ironically, I feel that the big releases kind of step away from this weekend to give some shine to the stuff that's nominated, that's been out. But there is one kind of interesting new release in theaters this weekend. It's called Last Breath, starring Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu. The true story of seasoned deep-sea divers who battle the raging elements to rescue a crewmate who's trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface.
My worst nightmare.
Yeah, it sounds horrible. Mm-hmm. But it has good reviews, 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. Brianna Ziegler of the AV Club says, a pulse-pounding, high-concept biodrama. Last Breath is a commendable technical feat, though its melodrama falls short. I feel like that could be fun to watch one day. I mean, I'm far from rushing out to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
But that could be interesting. There's more, like, we're gearing up for some bigger releases in the theaters coming up in a few weeks, but that's really the only big one this weekend. Unless you're into Mobile Suit Gundam.
Is that a Bollywood film?
No, I think it's like anime. Look this.
I'm
look
so
it up.
lost on the anime stuff right now.
I want you to look this up and see how you would say it, or at least look at how it's Mobile Suit Gundam beginning. It says a space colony teen joins illegal mecha duels after befriending a refugee. Her life is upended when she encounters a mysterious Gundam and its young pilot, both wanted by authorities.
Oh, wow. This is actually from a while ago, as far as like the original concept of this anime from 1979.
Gundam is huge. I mean, it's been a big thing. It's huge in Japan. They have like giant robot Gundam statues. But this is the new one. I just don't know how to. It looks like somebody was titling the movie and fell asleep on the keyboard for a while.
Yeah, fell asleep on the U button.
So I don't know what that is, but that's out in theaters. I'm sure it'll do well. Otherwise, there's a new series on Netflix called Running Point, starring Kate Hudson, Brenda Song from Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And Chet Hanks, believe it or not.
Okay.
Also, the movie September 5th, which is up for some of the, not the major Oscars, but it is up for some Oscars. It's about the Munich Olympics in 1972. That's on Paramount Plus now. House of David, streaming the first 3 episodes on Prime Video. That's about David.
Yes.
From the Bible.
Yes.
And then Nickel Boys, which is up for Best Picture for the Oscars. I have seen that. It's okay. It's a movie in the first person, very odd.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about that.
That's on MGM Plus, whatever the heck that is. So, but if you're somebody who subscribed to MGM Plus, which I've never, not even sure if I've heard of, you're probably just psyched to have any new movie on there.
Yeah, you're right.
Finally, my subscription is paying off. I must watch Nickel Boys. Allie, you got what is tickling your fancy for the movie world lately?
Definitely, not any movie releases, but I definitely am planning to see House of David from Amazon Prime. Excited to watch that. And then also Love is Blind.
Oh, yeah. I forget. We talked about it yesterday with Sparkle. I totally forgot.
Yeah, the new episodes came out today. So you best believe when I get home, I will be binging all of those.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you need to. I'll report back on the Oscars on Monday. You report back on Love is Blind, of course.
Yes.
It's Love 'em or Leave 'em on RadioU Mornings with Hudson and Allie. Whenever you've got relationship issues, you can send them our way. 8772-RADIO-U and us, the RadioU audience, happy to help. This situation, less of a love him or leave him as in like divorce or breaking up, but more of just like, what do you do? We have a husband who writes in and says, me and my wife have been married for a while. We have 2 children under the age of 5. Wife is a stay-at-home mom. We're living comfortably in a desirable city, renting out our basement suite to help make ends meet. And also, for context, all my immediate family within 90 minutes, and his mother-in-law lives in the same city.
Okay.
As them. He recently just took a 20% pay raise to join a smaller company that values me highly. They're expanding to a new town, or to a town that they haven't been in that's a few hours away. They want somebody there full-time to build the business. They're offering him free housing for at least 6 months if he moves there. A massive salary increase, like at least double what he's making now, and more career growth opportunities as well that should be good for their future. Within 2 years, he says they could buy a house, almost mortgage free if they wanted to do that, ensuring that his wife can be a stay-at-home mom like she wants to do with the kids long term. But here's where the problem comes. His wife refuses to move.
Oh.
Even for a short time. She's worried about safety, losing family support, and not having friends. I offered to fly her mom up every month or so, but she still says no. I see 2 years as a short-term sacrifice for lifelong security. She sees it as impossible. Am I being unreasonable? Have you ever been in a similar situation? How do you make it work? 8772-RADIO-U. Young family, big opportunity for the husband, sets them up well for the future. But the wife wants to stick around near her mom and where they're already comfortable. 8772-RADIO-U. I feel like we need some good advice here.
Yeah, this is really tough. I feel for both parties in this because I value family and being close to family and having that support system, especially when you have young kids. But also, it looks like a great opportunity and a great future for your family.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling between both of these. I'm gonna have to think on this.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts. 8772-RADIO-U. We'll see what people are saying for this love or leave them. I do like what Stacy said. She said, make sure you're both listening to each other's reasoning and not just sticking your heels into the ground for your own reasons. You're like the guy is valuing money and security. She is valuing stability as security. Make sure you're acknowledging how her entire life will change because you're going to be going to work every day. So there's going to be some semblance of normalcy and routine for you, but everything about her normalcy will change, not just for this, for the entire 2 years or however long it is. So that's a good point. Like it's much easier for the guy who's going to be working and have like, you may not have friends, but like you're going to be seeing the people. Whereas like it's harder to build that up when your job is staying at home.
Yeah, For sure. And he did add further context where he did say, she takes the kids to the Y for like the play time. She has a friend that also has a young child and they do play dates. So it would really be uprooting her from her normal, routine and the friends that she has, and not only friends that she has, but also the friends that the kids have. Now, in my opinion, you can find more of that community wherever you move, but I understand why you wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want to leave.
She would be resistant.
Yes.
And having family around can be very helpful, especially with young kids.
Yep.
Max says, time to pack and move. But this is smart. Max says he would be wise to convince his mother-in-law first. If you can get your wife's mother on board and just be like, yeah, I'll come up and see the kids. I'll come help you, whatever.
Yeah.
It's only a few hours, no big deal. That's going to move the chains in your direction.
Good convincing right there.
We heard from my actual mom. She's chiming in. She said they should do the move. Financially, it makes sense, and moving before the kids are established in school. That's right.
Yeah.
Under 5, the kids aren't even going to remember. They don't know who their friends are.
Right. That's true.
And then he's saying 2 years, they can move back wherever they want to go and actually be able to buy a house.
Yeah.
Which is going to be huge. It sounds like, too, that it's still close enough and frequent visits will work. Hopefully, the wife just needs time to process and weigh the pros and cons.
Yes.
Andrew says, sounds like the kind of promotion that involves long hours, extra stress, long-term sacrifices for the family. Financial security is never guaranteed and shouldn't be the top priority. You only get this time with your family once. Interesting. A little
That's true.
counterpoint than we've heard from most others.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this, Allie?
I would say I think this is a really tricky one because, like I said, I relate to both sides of this argument. I relate to, the wife in this situation because, like I said, it's uprooting her entire life. She's got family nearby. She's got friends nearby. She's got a routine for her and the 2 kids. So I can understand why she's resistant to that change because you're removing her from that entire support system. And it can make you feel really alone as a stay-at-home mom when you move into a new neighborhood and a new situation because you're not going to work every day. You're not going to places where you're meeting new people and new friends. So you can feel really isolated and alone, even though you have your kids, but you need adult time too. And so it just feels like that is some worry that she has in her mind. But also I think for the short-term sacrifice of setting up your family to be in a better position to buy the house that you want in an area that you want, that you like, and also to be able to afford to, pay for your children to have good education, to be able to afford college, all of those things down the line, I think this sets up your family for success in the long run. So even though you may be sacrificing some, of that personal preference for the next 2 years, in the long run, your family will do better by you making this sacrifice.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember, that you could present it to your wife in this way: is it sounds like you're making a sacrifice because you're going to be away from the kids, but also if you stay, then he's making a sacrifice, and the family as a whole may be making a sacrifice because you may never be able to. First of all, he is going to be wondering what if the entire time.
Sure.
And I feel like she's not going to be thinking about that. She's just going to be. So I don't know. That's another thing to put into it. But if you're going to make a sacrifice to set up your family for success, this is the time to do it while the kids are still young.
Yes.
Before you're pulling them out of school, and that actually will make a difference. Tim quickly says, I agree with the first person. However, finances always matter more. You can make new friends, and chances are you're not seeing family often anyways. Build generational wealth. Susanna says, super tricky. They're both right and both wrong. Yes, long-term is more important than short-term, but early motherhood is intense. And the move could be long-term traumatic. I feel like we're leaning towards moving here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if any of us have actually been able to convince the mom in this situation.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.